This is Mike Mulholland. I'm the president, as he said, of AFSCME Local 207, representing the water board workers. I don't know where to start, folks, but you know the privatization campaign, the giveaway campaign, the takeaway, the raping and pillaging of our village is happening at a rapid pace, and that includes the water department. The water department is poised to be given away entirely, either given away directly to the suburbs, have been trying to get it for decades, or to have that happen and then have the actual, the actual management of it be given away to Veolia. And when Susan McCormick came in as the director of the department, she was part of an imposed upon us leadership of the whole department.
That's right.
But that wasn't good enough. That wasn't good enough. No, they had to bring in EMA to report another bunch of people to oversee her overseeing. And now apparently the 48 million they offered them to do that isn't enough. Now we have to get Veolia to oversee the overseers of the overseers. and in the process through this, only our local 207, stood up against this and struck in the fall of 2012. And we were isolated. Council 25 left us hanging. They came up with some stuff saying, oh, if we'd only given them 10 days notice, if you'd given them 10 days notice, there wouldn't have been no strike. That was the purpose of that 10 days notice. But in the end, the punishment that our local got for that was they're now telling our members as of Friday that they are no longer in 207. Management has decided that they renamed their titles and are putting them in unions that have never held a demonstration over anything, never raised any hell, never struck, and that, for instance, the Teamsters, 214, and soon the people at the sewage plant who led the strike will be given to the operating engineers. Those are people who run they're boiler operators. How did they, become sewage plant operators? But at this point, they're using the judge's orders from Judge Cox, racist right-wing asshole, who put some anti-union orders on us as part of the Clean Water Act. When he removed the orders, when he said that the water department was fine now and they could just give it away back to the city, he left a little footnote which said all the anti-union aspects of his orders stay in effect forever. So they use that to say that we can't go to Merck, we can't appeal to anything. There's no appeal process. We can't go to the federal government. And so now we're left, naked and afraid. And so we're in a situation where the members struck the only thing that they could do in the face of this situation, and they were left isolated, and they were sent back to work. We were able to stay out long enough to make sure that nobody got fired because of that strike. But still, that is a Pyrrhic victory at this point. And so the only voice for many years that has stood up against a lot of the crap as far as labor is concerned in this city is now being stripped of its members. We're going to be left with, when they finish up in a week or two, we'll be left with 150 members. We had 1,100, 3 years ago.
That's what they did to the administrators union for the board.
Exactly. And
they destroyed it.
And the DFT, one of the most powerful unions in the state, have been reduced to 3,000 or 4,000 from 12,000.
That's right.
And so, if we continue to go down this route, this will be a city that is hostile to unions.
Right.
And the unions really were the speed bump on the way to destroying this community. And we were kind of we held up our hands, said, no, you can't do that. And they rolled over us and said, yeah, we can. And all I can say to people is I don't know what's going to happen out of this, but I've told my executive board last night in our meeting is that if they take the unions from us, if they take they can't take our pride. We still will fight back. If we have to fight back as an independent caucus across union lines, then that's what we have to do. We will never give up. We will never give up what our grandparents fought for. Not willingly. I'm 67 now, and when they take me in my grave, I'll still have my hand up. and if they have to put it up there with a stick, put it up with a stick. But that's not good enough. Individual being on the right side doesn't cut it. In the end, we've got to look what happened in Missouri, and we got to look and say those people said enough, and they didn't do it as individuals. They did it as a group, and they said they said that they weren't going to put up with it. They weren't going to accept the accepted leaders that came in and said, "Oh, chill out, vote Democrat, etc., etc. All that will save you." They said no, they weren't buying that. They were going to go beyond that. They were going to the next level, and we've got to do that in Detroit. If we don't do it now, if we don't save 207, if we don't save the water department, at some point we'll have to fight back. And when we do, I'm looking to the youth to get out of control and do what they got to do. Thank you.
Fight back! Fight back!
Good morning. It's a joy to see so many individuals out here participating in what we need to be participating in today. I come before you. It looks like I'm standing on cement. I'm not. I'm standing on somebody's shoulders that went before me. They died for me to have the rights that I have today. And I can't just roll over and let that big machine that's operating inside that building roll over me.
That's right.
I'm a retiree, but I'm also a citizen. So I'm being hit with a 1-2 bang. And it's not a good feeling knowing that we've done what we could in the city. We've tried to come up with solutions, and all of that has been thrown to the side. Our ancestors, they would have risen up by now. I'm wondering what is going on with the citizens that they don't come out, because the new lights that they're putting in from all effects, these lights are worse than the old ones. They have less light. But you've taken all of this money. You were going to improve the services, but yet we have no money to improve services. I bet you every Jones Day attorney is getting paid. When they quoted that $1,000 off of on an hour, I realized as a social worker, I went into the wrong field, because I can't make anyways near $1,000 an hour for shuffling papers, being a CPS, certified paper shuffler.
That's right.
I'm not going to hold the mic long because I know there are others that have got to speak, but it's been bugging me about my ancestors and what they went through, what they gave up. And I can't just let this go on. I talk to everybody and anybody I can. Somebody said something to me once and I charged so fast, I think the lady thought I was going to hurt her. No, I just wanted her to understand. You look at all of the cuts for the retirees. You've got something to claw back. You start off calling it a clawback. Then you turn around and you give it another name. But this was my money from the beginning. Okay? So how are you going to take back something that you earned off of my money that was the beginning? And I'm trying to think, okay, maybe it's me. Maybe I just don't understand. But I have opened up my mouth and I realized and explained to people exactly what's going on. Don't tell me about I gotta take one for the Gipper Gooper or whoever. Let me explain to you what they're trying to take from me. And not only me, every other retiree. I served my city for 35 years and 9 months with pride. I drove a DOT bus and loved it. Thought I looked very nice in the uniform. I progressed on, but I stayed with the city for 35 years and 9 months. I met a lot of nice people. A lot of people gave me a hand along the way. And now I'm reduced to coming down here because all my life I've been an early riser because I held a job. Now I've got to get up before the chickens and the birds to be down here to watch folks about what's going on in my city.
That's right.
It's a shame. It's a goddamn shame. Thank you. The fact that we are here,
So no.
we should declare a victory. We are here. We are here organizing. And the only way you have any victory is to organize. It's never individual by individual, it's by organization. So we should say, God bless those who showed up today to take a stand. It's not one here and one there. This is significant. And we have to declare our own victory, not wait for our enemies to do it.
Right on.
The fact that the leaders like Queen Mother Helen Moore, who stood tall against one more evil thing they were trying to do with Detroit Public Schools, forced them to rescind the order of the 10% pay cut, forced them to rescind the order of the 45 children in the classroom. That was organizing. That was organizing. So that's all that needs to happen here.
That's right.
Everything that is happening here, everything is illegal. Unconstitutional, undemocratic, everything. There ain't nobody trying to make lemonade out of lemon. That's unconstitutional and illegal.
Right on. Right on.
We should stand, call it as it is, tell your neighbors who don't get it to wake up.
That's right.
Detroit.
Give them a wake-up call. I am convinced this is not just any, this is Detroit, the home of organized labor. This is the home of the Honorable Coleman Alexander Young. This is the home of the Shrine of the Black Madonna, the Nation of Islam. This is the home of Keep the Vote, No Takeover, that had to fight with Mother Rosa Parks in suit to get our vote back for the Detroit Board of Education, which we did. That's a victory. By organizing. Our next step should be to take over every organization we're part of.
That's right.
Our church, our clubs, block clubs, organize your family meetings where they want to barbecue and do the boogaloo.
Yeah, right.
Our union.
Take over your
Union.
unions.
Yeah.
Everything you're a part of, demand that they stand up.
Hey,
Demand that they show up. Demand that they speak up.
set the agenda.
Because the other side is counting on the quietness, the silence,
Right.
and the co-opting.
And buying off our folks.
They are relying on
Their money.
being undercover. And this is not something that just happened as a result of this illegal bankruptcy. As far as I'm concerned, the city did not file bankruptcy. Kevin Orr is a non-resident, non-voter appointee of the governor. Point everything back to the governor.
That's right.
The governor hired him after interviewing some folks
Runs the city
because of his bankruptcy expertise. This was a conspiracy.
Rico.
All of it was planned, and the same stuff.
We told them, didn't we go in?
It was
years ago?
planned, and the precedent was a school takeover.
Right.
Setting the stage for the city takeover.
We said
And
so.
Detroit is setting the stage for other municipal takeovers that are being planned by Jones Day,
That's the way
which is
they
a straight up conflict of interest. Everything is illegal.
So no.
Everything is unconstitutional. And there's one force that's sitting high and looking low.
Every day.
And I declare, if we organize and we do what we're supposed to do, we don't have to worry about that. Victory is certain when we organize.
Show up.